Good morning and welcome back to Tarot Tats and Tea. Today I thought I'd just pop on, just for a general chat. Nothing in particular, but just to sit down, say hello and just chew the cud. You might notice a new blanket behind me here. This was a gift from my sister. It arrived in the post yesterday. Oh, not yesterday. Where are we today? Friday. Tuesday. It arrived in the post on Tuesday. And I'm under strict instructions that this is for use within my potting shed for those afternoons that get a little bit chilly if I'm sitting here and reading. Albeit we are supposed to be in summer. Our summer has been fairly wet and fairly cool this year, and today you may hear it every now and again, the rain on the roof of the potting shed. You'll hear the wind and you'll hear the little chimes ringing because they're being blown about like a good one. So it's grey, wet and windy, but are we going to let that spoil our summer? No. I'm really impressed with the growth that's going on in here. My 3 caladiums are coming on beautifully. They really are. Once they've broken through the surface of that soil, they are just absolutely blooming. And my what I thought was a jalapeno that I'd managed to save, you remember Lazarus, actually turns out to be an ancho San Luis pepper, which I'm delighted about because I made the most gorgeous dressing of them last year and I thought I'd lost them. So that's some good news. And my snack pepper is growing new peppers too, and there's lots of life and little new leaves coming out on the various plants that I have in here. Same with the greenhouse and same in the garden. So the water's doing the plants well, but I would love a little bit of sunshine. I'm actually dressing for the summer because it is summer, but there's a possibility I could be putting this over me in a minute. My son was visiting me the other day, my youngest son, he lives away from home, and I asked him to draw our card for the garden, for the care of our plants, and he drew pot it like it's hot. Okay, and pot it like it's hot, planting tip: if you want to take extra care of your plants, water them with filtered water or rainwater that you've collected with a bucket. Yes, I have a few buckets with rainwater in that I use for my greenhouse and potting shed, and I think that's probably one of the reasons the plants are thriving the way they are. I have a lovely little candle lit in here today, so it's all nice, peaceful and harmonious. How am I getting on with Thoth? I'm really enjoying my delve into Thoth, I have to be honest. I had, as you know, I'm working through the Thoth Tarot by Lon Milo Duquette. Okay, it's the new edition, and it's deep going, but it's really enjoyable. To accompany this, I also have the Thoth Companion. Okay, and this is by Michael Osiris Snuffin. And it's the key to the true symbolic meaning of the Thoth Tarot. Let's have a look what it says on the back. A clear and comprehensive introduction to Crowley's legendary Thoth Tarot. Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, one of the most respected yet enigmatic tarot decks of all time, offers rich rewards for those who can penetrate its complex symbolism. Written by ceremonial magician and tarot expert Michael Osiris Snuffin, the Thoth Companion is the key to understanding the true symbolic meaning of the Thoth deck. This comprehensive reference work examines all 78 cards within the context of Thelema, Kabbalah and ceremonial magic, the spiritual foundations upon which the deck was built. These detailed interpretations reveal valuable insights, significant correspondence and Crowley's encoded secrets. Once you've mastered the meaning behind this legendary deck, the Thoth Companion shows you how to use the Thoth Tarot for divination, meditation, developing intuition and pathworking. Straightforward and user-friendly, this guide also includes a glossary, bibliography, index and an extensive appendix featuring correspondence tables. Michael Osiris Snuffin lectures on a number of occult subjects and has worked as a professional tarot reader. He founded the Temple of Light and Darkness and has attained the PI degree of the Caliphate Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO. Osiris lives in Seattle, Washington, and you can visit him online at www.hermetic.com/Osiris. So this sort of grabbed my attention, and I thought, that is going to be an addition. I've got so much on RWS, and it's nice to have good works on the Thoth Tarot as well. This I started reading this last night, and I have to say it is an easier read, and it's one that I think I might benefit more from because it's that little bit clearer. Okay, these two together. I have the Thoth Tarot book, which I find quite complex and in-depth. I think that will be something that I will move on to once I have a more basic understanding of the Thoth Tarot. Now, here's a question. I don't know if anybody, as I told you, I had this in the post, okay? I'm really bonding with it. I'm enjoying it. I love sitting looking at images. The Hermit is one that I'm working on at the moment, okay? It is a beautiful, beautiful Hermit. The thing is about this deck, I don't know who sent it. I don't recall ordering this. I have ordered a Thoth deck, but it's not this one. It's a very modern one, and that's not due to arrive until the 26th of this month. Whereas this just appeared with no note, nothing, from the Netherlands. So I've checked Amazon, I've checked eBay, I've checked Etsy, all the purchase sites that I would use. And I'm thinking, had I had a couple of glasses of wine and don't remember? So I've gone back and I've looked through my orders, and this is not to be seen. So yeah, that's Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and I don't order from anywhere else. So I'm really not sure where this has come from. The post, all it had was Netherlands and nothing else, no name, nothing. So this has arrived on my doorstep clearly from the kindness of somebody else who has watched a video and thought, oh, well, I have a Thoth Tarot, I'll send it off. But then how was my address sorted? So I'm really at sixes and sevens as to how this got to me. But it has got to me, and I'm very lucky. It has a very gentle feel of it. So if I was to say who this belonged to previously, it's been immaculately cared for, okay? It's been used, but used, not bent, not riffled, because it's not, and I'm not going to do that with this deck because I think this has been cared for. The box has, it's clearly been used because the box is used. It's been carried around with someone. You can see from the wear and tear of the edges of the box. But the cards themselves, there's just a little smudge on one of them, which was the Princess of Discs. Not quite sure what it is. But I don't want to wipe it down because I'm scared that I will ruin the card. So I don't know if you can see, there's like a little shadow there. No, you can't even see it there. Ah, there. See there? That little mark there. And it goes up into the image if you were to look there. But nothing that's very obvious. This deck has obviously been used and been enjoyed by somebody. I get the feeling it belonged to possibly a lady who, I feel there was a kindness about her. But I think this was probably left to a grandchild who's probably not realised, well, I don't need it anymore, pass it on. So I don't know, maybe I'm just clutching at straws. But if I do find out, I'll let you know. But whoever it was, thank you very, very much. I'm sure I didn't order it. I couldn't have ordered it because I would never have been able to afford this sort of deck. No, but it's lovely. It's really lovely. So, rather than manhandling this one, this I will use to read in my reading room for myself until I'm very au fait with reading Thoth. Then I'll use it for Querence. But until then, with Querence, I'll still stick with my RWS. I'm going to pop this back into the box here. What I may do with the box is put a little tape around it to preserve it for longer, because the box is very fragile. Just see if I can get this in there. Just bear with me. I don't want to damage it. So you can see there's just pull that one out there. And then the extra cards I pop back in this side, not by the opening. Yes, it's quite a mystery. So there must be somebody who knows me. I don't know. I really don't know. So there we go. As you can see, the box is worn, and the bottom drops open very easily, as does the top, and it's worn there. So I think to preserve it, I may put clear tape on, and just to keep that box a little bit stronger. So when I'm talking about the Thoth, what I will do, use this one that I purchased, as you've seen before, when my husband and I were in Waterford. So how many of you read with Thoth, and how many of you are delving down the, as newbies really, like myself, down the Thoth rabbit hole? And are any of you wary of Thoth? What are your opinions? I'd really like to hear them. I'm actually finding that the artwork that I found initially when I first got my first Thoth deck that sat in my room for a long time, that I couldn't gel with the art. All of a sudden, it's a bit like the sort of epiphany I had with the Deviant Moon. It's the same sort of thing. Like I say, the Hermit card is one that really draws me in, and it's one that I like to meditate over. It really does, the imagery and the symbolism really does lend itself to meditation purposes, and looking at both your shadow and light sides. It's quite amazing. Let me see if the one in this deck is as them, if it's the same sort of image, because I have noticed there's slight changes in them. I do like that Two of Swords. I think it's a beautiful card. Let's have a look here. The Ace of Swords as well. Just look at that. They're beautiful. Now I'm just seeking out the Hermit. I should have had this done beforehand, but there again I didn't envisage going this deep into it. So come on, where are we, Hermit? Nearly there. I hope. It's probably going to be the last card. That usually happens. Ah, no, it's not quite the same. We still have... Is the three-headed dog, was that called Cerberus? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. But we do have the three-headed dog, and we have the serpent around the egg. So we look like we've got our sort of light and dark, and our the sort of birth with that egg, but again you've got that. Well, it's more like the Ouroboros rather than a serpent per se, isn't it? Going right round, but there again it's not eating its own tail. And then we have the Cerberus here. This light is brilliant, but on the actual older deck, it almost looks more inside. It's really well done. Lady Frida Harris's art there is just amazing. So yes, that is good, but I do prefer the older one. So that is that. How am I getting on with reading with it? I'm actually finding, because I only used it at the moment to read for myself, excuse me, get myself a little more comfortable, because I only used it at the moment to read for myself, I'm finding that my readings are fairly accurate, and when I ask about particular situations, I'm actually getting answers that really do fall into place and make a lot of sense. And I'm thinking, is that me, putting what I want there? And this is where we have to be careful when we're reading for ourselves, that we're not being biased and that we're not sort of looking at it through a skewed lens. So I record myself reading my cards. I play them back and I have the cards in front of me and I think, oh, hold on a second, Elaine. And yeah, it's sort of, it really is seeming to give me great readings. I will use a couple of my close friends to read for them when I'm a little bit more thoth wise, before I actually move on to using it for people that come for readings, you know. But it's really, really interesting. It's amazing how different systems can both read very differently and yet in another way complement each other very much. I do follow Paul in Dove and Serpent Tarot, and he uses the Thoth to read, you know, your like reading for Libra. He'll use the Thoth, and he always pulls an RWS to give you the overall theme of that reading. And I have tried that a couple of times, and you know, the theme that comes from the RWS has so far always fitted the reading. It's sat well with the reading, you know, and I think it's a method that I will use going forward. And something, oh, I did a course this last 3 nights, and it was tarot and crime, and how you can use tarot to investigate a crime. There were 3 cases we were given, and you were given the bare minimum of information about the particular case, the victim, the perpetrator, etc. And through reading the tarot, you can either use the cheat sheets that were given for the course. However, I felt that reading my own way, I found more beneficial, and that's fine, because you read how you read. You know, no 2 people will read the same. And I found that reading in the manner I do, and having that bare minimum of information, I was able to solve the cases, 2 of the 3, because the first one I used the cheat sheets, and because I couldn't relate the course instructor's interpretation to my understanding, I just thought that's not going to work for me. So I used that first case as an experiment, and then the further 2 I used my own methods, and you know, it was so interesting. And I can see, you know, how people could say, wow, you could use tarot for this, that and the other, but again, there's always room for error, so it wouldn't be something you'd put out there, go, oh yeah, I read for crimes, come to me, I'll solve everything, you know, because we'd certainly trip ourselves up. Excuse me, I take a drink. Oh, today this is water, but it's water I had in my fridge that I had added cucumber, mint and lemon to. The cucumber, mint and lemon from my garden. I shaved the cucumber so it's nice ribbony in the jug, sliced the lemon, and I put a full sprig of mint, and I let it sit overnight in the water in the fridge, and I have to tell you, it's divine. It's a palate cleanser and a thirst quencher. So what are you guys doing with your tarot? How are you tarotting? Where are you tarotting? What decks are you using? And what books do you use? Do you have books that you like to refer to? Do you read tarot without books? I prefer to read tarot without books because I like to use my own interpretation of a deck. It's nice to have the guidebooks there as a guide for me, but not as something to constantly refer to every time I turn a card over. Because I think, albeit we have our historical meanings of the cards, it's nice to be able to look at your own interpretation of a new deck and a new creator's deck. And once you have sort of read with a deck, going back and then looking how your interpretation would have fitted in with the creators. And you know, it's amazing how many times you can be very, very close to what the creator is saying. It's a brilliant activity, but it's also one that gets you working on your intuition. It gets you working on your understanding of tarot. And to be quite honest with you, it's just an enjoyable activity, especially when you've got a day like today that you really can't get out and do much. I would normally like to get out and go bike riding, Had a lovely bike ride last weekend into the woods, and my friend Tamara took her guitar, and so she was singing the woods, I was reading tarot in the woods, and you know, it was really nice. So the next one now, it's meditation and what have you. There's supposed to be a full moon drumming session tomorrow, but if the weather's like this, I'm not going to be sitting out in the rain beating a drum, because I just feel that my it might end up where we're all ill the next day. You know? Oh, so like I say, I just popped on to say hello. I'm just going to see, can I turn the camera around whilst it's filming? I don't think I can. My caladium, if you recall, it took ages for them to burst through the soil. Oh my goodness, you should see them now. I'll just get them, just bear with me. Back again. So this is Rosebud. Look, we have the 2 leaves there, but look, we've got 3 more coming through. 1, oops, 2, and right underneath that one there, 3. And look at the beautiful colours. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, a lady kindly contacted me and told me that the caladium is poisonous. I didn't know that. Well, poisonous, you know, obviously I wash my hands when I've been messing with my plants, but also poisonous for animals. These are going to be indoor plants when they've grown a little bit more. I'm going to be putting the plant pot that they're in into an ornamental pot container, and decorative one, and they're going to be inside the house. I just want to be that little bit taller first, so they sort of don't look like a pimple on a mountain, you know. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when one was struggling to get through, and look at the vibrancy of that pink and green. It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? So that's number 1, and the name of this particular one is Rosebud. Then we have Red Flash. Now, Red Flash has been a single leaf for a long time. Just look at that beautiful, beautiful leaf. The heart shape, well, let me turn it around so you can see the heart shape. Oh, off the tray, Elaine. Sometimes I don't have the common sense that I was born with. The heart-shaped leaf, there we go. And the deep, deep green as well as the red. There we go. That one is called Red Flash. Then we have Kathleen. I purchased this one solely because of its name, because my nan was Kathleen. I think I might have told you that before. Now, Kathleen has had this one for some time. It hasn't unfurled. Yet we have her initial leaf, okay, and we have, let's have a look here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9th one coming through here. And then we have this one here, which is 10. I don't know why this one hasn't unfurled. It's very strange, but look at the colours of Kathleen. They're not as light as Rosebud, not as dark as Red Flash. And she's just stunning, absolutely stunning. And I am really proud of the way they've gone. This is not a common plant here in our country, because they're more for the warmer climates. So to get them and to see them growing in such a manner, it's really, really wonderful. So those are my bicoloured caladium, and I shall be nurturing these, and hopefully the day will come where I'll be showing you them as huge houseplants indoors. So yes, you are so beautiful. I am a devil for talking to my plants. I think they grow just to shut me up. I don't know. I've been harvesting tomatoes. The plums are coming on nicely. Now, here's one for you. I am growing sweet corn. It's definitely a different sweet corn than I was growing last year, because these are much, much taller. They must be about 7 foot in the air now. And my research says that sweet corn one plant will bear probably 2 ears of corn. I thought, right, again, that's how it went last year. I had 8 sweet corn plants that were successful, and 8 bore 2 ears of corn each, so I had 16 ears of corn. At this moment in time, I have 8 plants again that are successfully growing. They've all developed the tails and they're all sort of pollinating each other in the wind. One of them already has 5 ears of corn growing on it. 5, which has absolutely astounded me. And the others, I'm yet to see any corn on them. But the 5, I was just blown away, because it's as though the sweet corn has grown and another branch has grown off, creating another ear of corn. I've only ever known the one stem where the ears come off the stem. I don't know if these are mutants, but it looks like it. Oh, but no, I'm thoroughly enjoying the garden despite the rain. Hopefully we'll get a bit of an Indian summer. You just never know, and we do get some sun before we're hitting the autumn months. So, folks, that's my ramble for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing from you, and I just want to thank you for being here and supporting my channel. It is an absolute joy to do these sort of things, and it's a joy to just sit and chat and hear back from you guys. Look after yourselves, have a lovely weekend, and whatever you're doing, stay safe. Bye-bye now. Just before you go, I'd just like to share a little something with you. Thanks for your patience. Hi. Before I go, I had a little conversation with my older son, whose image you'll see in one of the photographs here on the video. And I've written this just with our conversation in mind, and hopefully to give people who might be feeling a bit low, a bit full of self-doubt, and not really knowing what to do. Okay, so this is how I have felt in the past, and these are the words I want to share with you now. I sat inside my potting shed, observing the plants around me grow. The thoughts and dreams inside my head encouraged me my plans to sow. A book to write, an image to paint, a card to read, friends to reacquaint, seeds to sow, a bike to ride, or even into the Irish Sea go. The opportunities are endless. The only hurdles that I see are my doubts and procrastination. So the only hurdle's me. Negative thoughts, crippling self-doubt, imposter syndrome, that inner voice shouts. Folk will laugh, she's so full of herself, they'll say. That inner voice makes you want to hide away. Get up you, give yourself a shake. The inner voice you hear has fed off your negativity cake. The time has come for you to make that change. Write that book, take out those paints, read that card, with friends reacquaint. Sow your seeds, get on that bike, swim in those seas, take a positivity hike. For now's the time to achieve your dreams. Do it for you and your self-esteem. Life is short and the years fly by, so keep your feet on the ground and reach for that sky. Take care, everyone. Bye now.